Hello 1T1. Now for today's lesson, we'll be doing MEL3. Now for MEL3, we'll need to open this file, MEL3 underscore student, and you should see the following. So let's get started, right? So once again, go to Inkscape. Now we'll need to open a file first, but before that, right, I've mentioned we always zoom in first. Alright, go to File, open up the file that you saw just now, MEL3 underscore student. So this is what you will be getting. Okay, now firstly, I'm going to demonstrate certain skills that are important in this lesson. Okay, with the select tool, what I can do is I can move the object. So this is moving the object. Now you can see that the object is grouped together as one single object. Now I can also select the handles and resize the object. So this is resizing an object. Now in resizing an object, I can resize it. Okay, earlier on I resized it diagonally. Now I can resize it horizontally. I can also resize it vertically. Okay, now another thing that you can do is when I click on the center of the object, I can rotate the object. So this is rotating the object. Alright, to undo, I can just press Ctrl Z to undo my action. Okay, now I can also do other things like ungroup the object. So to ungroup, alright, I can press the shortcut key Ctrl Shift G, or I can click on object, click on this thing that says ungroup. Okay, so you can see that the objects are now ungrouped. If I want to group it, I can press Ctrl G to ungroup. So the shortcut key to ungroup is Shift Ctrl G, right? Shift Ctrl G to ungroup. Now I can also do other things like duplicate. So to duplicate the object, you can press the shortcut key Ctrl D, okay, or you can find under Edit over here to duplicate the object. So once you duplicate the object, you will actually get another copy of the object which lies exactly on top of it. I can also delete the object. Okay, and other things that I can do is I can do things like skew the object. So what's the meaning of skew the object? Okay, so for example, again, I'm going to Ctrl D to make a duplicate. Now click on the center. Alright, this is to skew the object. Skew it sideways. Alright, I can also skew it, okay, vertically. So skew it horizontally or skew it vertically. Okay, now besides that, you can also flip the object. So with this over here, let me make a duplicate first, Ctrl D. If I were to flip it, alright, it looks like this. So this is called flipping it horizontally. You can of course also flip it vertically. So these are some ways whereby you can actually transform the graphic. So let's go to today's task over here. Now today we'll need to create this object over here. Alright, running boys underscore your name. So we'll need to rearrange the pieces to form the figure shown below. You'll need to move, rotate, flip, and arrange all the parts together to form this figure. And once done, you need to group the pieces together. Okay, and the last thing to do is to create a shadow for the figure. Alright, and again to group it. Once you have done it, save your work. Alright, do remember to save it as running boys underscore your name, and of course you need to upload your work. Right, so let's get started. I'm going to move all these objects to the side. Okay, bring this up. Okay, and once again I can zoom in. Okay, zoom in and then resize. So I'm practicing the skills done that I showed you earlier on. I can rotate this. Okay, rotate. After which, okay, by right you're supposed to use the bigger piece. Right, so this piece over here. Okay, and another piece, I'm going to rotate this. And I'm going to resize it. Okay, put this here. Okay, this will form, seems to form part of the leg. Right. Okay, so the leg should be this part of it. Okay, this over here, I may need to flip it. Okay. Right, so I've just flipped it. I'm going to arrange the last two shapes. So this one over here, you again may also want to resize it. And the last one will be this, rotate it first. And then resize it. Okay, if you find that the picture that you form, right, does not look the one that's shown in your text, in your workbook, what you can do is you can do some further resizing. Right, this triangle, further resizing it. Okay. Such that it looks like the one shown in your workbook. So I can move it up. Right, and this should be somewhere over here. Okay, once done, select the entire object, group it. Alright. After which, resize it. So the next thing you need to do is to create a shadow for the boy. So how are you going to create a shadow for the boy? Remember we learned duplicate earlier on. So Control D to duplicate. Right. Once you have duplicated it, I'm going to color it with another color. Shadow, as you know, they are always right, such as it's about grayish or grayish in color. And after which, alright, I'm going to skew it. So this is skew it. Okay, and I'm going to reposition it. And of course, you need to resize it. Reposition and resize the shadow. Okay, once done, alright, select both objects, again group it, and do remember to save your work. Save as Running Boys. Right, save it as Running Boys underscore your name. Right, and where do you save your work? Do remember to save it in the folder Work to Submit. So go to the folder that says Work to Submit. Right, save it there. And I'm going to show you one more time, right, where do you upload the file. So remember to go to the student learning space. Alright, do remember to log in first. Okay, after which, right, log in first. After which you need to go to the lessons. So under my drive, right, I have all my lessons. So how do you upload your file? Right, I'm going to go to the student view first. So this is what you should be seeing, right? So it requires you to do this work, all right, to save your file, all right, and after which, all right, you have to go to Think and Submit. You have to answer the questions. What are the 5 skills that we have used to form the picture running boys, right? Type in your answer here and upload the file, right? Running boys, underscore your name, and submit your work. Right, that's all for today's lesson.